I see a couple of ships entering the harbor. Should we check them?
Are they due in?
They do indeed.
Come in, number 96. Your time is up.
We don't have a 96.
We don't have a 96. Number 69, are you in trouble?
Hello and welcome to a new episode of Jolly Antics. If last time we presented some stories about German U-boats, I think it's a good time to talk about the ones that they were chasing. So today we will present you an item related to the Allied convoys that used to cross the Atlantic backwards and forwards to bring the much needed supplies to the besieged Europe. Hi Ross.
Hi Raz.
Can you tell me and our friends a bit more about this?
Of course I can. It goes back to the First World War. The German naval surface fleet had been contained by the British Navy after the Battle of Jutland. They were no longer a threat in the Atlantic to our supply and troop convoys. However, they then put all their naval energy into their U-boats. As Admiral Karl Dönitz had been a U-boat commander in the First World War, and he was the flotilla commander of the only U-boat flotilla at the start of the Second World War, Adolf Hitler quickly made him commander of the fleet. And then he turned the U-boats into a serious threat to Britain's survival, making the Atlantic a very dangerous place for our convoys. One of the defences of our convoys, being tracked and having our courses plotted so we could be ambushed by the U-boats, was something called zigzagging. Now, zigzagging with a single ship is a fairly straightforward manoeuvre. However, with a convoy of up to and beyond 100 vessels, it requires steady nerves and first-rate seamanship. The ships in the convoy were manned by a mixture of crews, merchant navy, Royal Navy, and many foreign nationals, as well as ships of varying sizes and abilities. Not only that some of these ships were carrying up to 15,000 troops, it was a tricky undertaking, and naturally there were accidents. Now, the way that zigzagging worked was a zigzag plan or plans would be plotted, taking into account the tides, winds, currents and the weather as much to the disadvantage of the U-boats as we could. This was especially effective at night, as the ships were blacked out and normally 24-hour radio silence would have been observed. When approaching the danger zone, the commodore of the flagship would hoist the zigzag A flag, and the whole convoy would turn to the first heading and start the zigzag clock, a clock such as this one.
What do we know about these clocks then?
Well, we've looked into them. We've got a couple in the shop. This one is an earlier clock. It's called an octo clock, and then they later on became called Mercer clocks. You can see this was earlier because it's got the Roman numerals, and this one's got the normal ones. The clocks would have been calibrated and set prior to departure, and all the ships would have one. They had a ring with movable indicators, as you can see here, on it, and they were wired to a buzzer on the bridge. And usually they would sound a buzzer 10 minutes after zigzag had commenced, and then every hour thereafter to indicate the time to change the course of the ship to the next heading on their list. As you can imagine, this did not always go to plan. One notable incident occurred in October of 1942 when the RMS Queen Mary, carrying 10,000 troops, collided with her escort, the Curaçao. The Queen Mary is over 1,000 feet long and displaced 82,000 tonnes. The Curaçao was only a light cruiser. The impact caused the Curaçao to break in two. A sailor named Enoch Foster was on lookout on a nearby ship at the time, and he recalled how quickly the disaster unfolded. He quoted all that destruction in the time it takes to light a cigarette. The Curaçao caught fire and sank in 6 minutes, taking over 300 men down with her. At the end of the war, a top secret Admiralty report concluded that zigzagging at its best reduced the chances of being sunk by 15%.
What difference 15% would have made?
Well, it's a good question. In World War II, U-boats sank 2,779 ships for a total of 14.1 million tonnes. 15% of that figure is 416 ships and crew. So I don't think these clocks did a bad job. And due to technological advances towards the end of the Second World War, U-boats instead of the hunters became the hunted. Maybe we'll discuss that in another episode.
Thank you very much, Ross, and thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed our video, please give us a like, leave us a comment and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget that you can buy these clocks from our online shop, thejolyantics.co.uk. See you next time.